Hello and welcome to this week's live Monday music motivation. Super excited. As always, it's so fun to get to be here live with you and hopefully get to maybe have a little interaction in the chat or just get to share some stuff and get you on the right track for this week, because that's what this is all about, is getting you going, getting you motivated, getting your practice planned so that you can actually get results this week, because that's what this is all about, is getting those results and making progress. So let me just share a couple things real quick, make sure all the technology is working, and then we'll be off. Great, it looks like we're in good shape. So the message for today, and you can see from the title probably, is that you need to commit to the outcome. And I have some good personal stories about sort of what I'm working on now, and also some stuff from the past that I think is very relevant to this. So what this comes from is, right now I'm working on the ICA excerpt competition for Clarinet Fest in 2023. I believe, hopefully I'm remembering right, that the deadline for submitting a recording is April 1st, and then finalists will get invited to compete at the Clarinet Fest in Colorado at the beginning of July this year. So I'm sort of getting in the zone for that, getting prepared. I'm going to submit a recording for that for sure, and hopefully win the whole thing at Clarinet Fest, which is what I'm going to talk about now. So this isn't my first competition that I've done with the ICA, which, for anybody who's not familiar, that's the International Clarinet Association. And I did the Young Artist competition. I think it was the last year that I was eligible, at the beginning of 2021. Yep, it was the spring of 2021 was when that was due, and I did that. And for that one, it was a very different mindset than what I'm going into this excerpt competition with. And that one, I first of all didn't decide to do it until like very last minute. They post those pieces for the Young Artist competition like a year in advance, and most people start practicing them at least 6 months in advance, or like the whole year in advance, pretty much. I decided I was gonna do it about 2.5 months in advance of when the recording was due, and I got my recording ready to go in about 2 months, which was a little crazy, especially because the Young Artist competition was all new pieces to me and all very challenging solo works. So it was a lot of new stuff to learn. It was a fantastic experience. I really grew as a player. Having to prepare that much stuff in that little time was really valuable for my playing, and I loved it. But going into that, I had the mindset of like, oh, I'll see, like, I know the deadline's coming up really soon and I don't actually have that much time to prepare, so I'll just sort of like give it my best, see what I come up with, and send in whatever I'm able to accomplish. And I think it was that mindset that sort of kept me from winning. And I have no idea how well I did. I think there were either 11 or 16 people who submitted recordings for that. And I wasn't in the top 3, I know, but I don't know. I could have been 4th. I could have been 16th. Who knows where I landed on that. But again, it was a great experience because I learned a lot and grew as a player. But because I went in with that mindset of like, yeah, I'm just gonna sort of try, see what happens, I was sort of dabbling with it, and that's why I got those results, because I wasn't committed to the outcome of winning. This competition, for the ICA excerpt competition in 2023, I'm very committed. My goal is to win first place in it. Now, I'm not going to be terribly disappointed if I don't. I'm not expecting that I'll win, but that's my goal, and that's what I'm aiming for, and that's what I'm shooting for. I'm not dabbling like, oh, I'm just gonna try and see what happens. It's like, no, I'm going all in. I'm gonna learn these excerpts. I'm gonna play these excerpts very, very well. I'm gonna get a really good recording of them, and I'm going to execute in the finals and hopefully win first place. That's the goal here, and that's what I'm committed to aiming for. It's really important that you don't set it as an expectation where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to win, definitely, because that's actually also counterproductive, because expecting to win can make it very devastating when you're not or when you don't actually win. So it's not that I'm expecting to win. I have no idea how I'll do it. It all depends on the other competition, the judges, my read for the day. It's there's so many things that are somewhat out of my control that I can't expect that I'm going to win, but I'm going to commit to trying to win. So that's the difference there, is that commitment to the outcome. And this is how it applies to any of you. I know most of you probably aren't doing competitions or things like that, but you can still commit to the outcomes and still be all in rather than dabbling with whatever you're working on. Say a classic example is, I want to be able to articulate faster. Well, if you want to be able to articulate faster, like, how are you committing to that outcome? What are you doing to make sure that that's actually happening and that's what you're actually achieving? If you want to be able to play better, or to articulate faster, then you better be doing some practice to articulate faster. You better have sort of a deadline in mind that you're shooting for and aiming for and working every day towards to get whatever tempo you want to be articulating faster. This is why at the start of this year, when I talked about some goal setting stuff, I said it's really important to make sure that your goal is tangible so that you can commit to it. If you have sort of I want to sound better, a very intangible goal, it's hard to commit to because you don't know when you've made it. So you need something very concrete, very tangible. I'm going to have this X, Y, or Z by this date, and this is the action I'm taking to get there, so that you can be truly committed to it. And again, you don't want to over expect that it's just going to happen, but you want to fully commit that that's what you're doing and that's your goal. And it's when we have this sort of clarity and focus of what we're shooting for, it makes the work every day so much easier and so much more obvious for what we should be doing, so that we're actually making that progress and moving forward. So that's my big advice, big motivation for you today, is just commit to that outcome. Pick an outcome that you want to be working towards. I found in my own practice, when I have something to be working towards, and actually all areas of my life, when I have something that's sort of the big project or the next step or the thing that I'm going for, it's so much easier to actually make it happen and actually make progress towards it. So commit to that outcome, whatever the outcome is for you, and then take the action, plan the action to do it. So speaking of action and planning, let's go ahead and pull up our templates for the week. This is mine already filled out. You can go to quickstartclarinet.com/get started if you want this actual template to work off, or you can create it for yourself. Just the date for the week, the reflection of sort of how things are going in general, the goal for this week, and then your plan for when you're going to do it. For this one, thinking about the outcome, like, that's what the goal is. My goal right now is to get those ICA excerpts down. I've played these, I've studied them before, I know the notes, but now I need to take them to the next level. Like, how would a professional play them? How can I play them in such a way that whoever's judging for the competition will hear me playing and say, that's great, it doesn't get better than that. This person should win. That's the outcome that I'm committed to. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week, is figuring that out. And that's the goal, is to get serious, get in there, get it figured out. And then the plan, super important, is the times that I've already put in my calendar, already have the reminder set that I'm going to be doing these days, these times, with this focus to get the work done. So I encourage you, right when this is done, right now, go fill out your template for the week. Think about the outcome you want. Think about the plan and put it in the schedule for when you're going to be taking that action towards the plan, so you can make some progress this week. Good luck, everybody. I hope you have great, happy practicing, and I look forward to seeing you next week in the next Live Monday Music Motivation. I always want to say live weekly warm-up. I said that so many times. See you next week in the next Live Monday Music Motivation. Have a good week.